Today I'm doing a 60 Years Beautiful makeup and I'm with my friends Lori and Gia. I'm using makeup that you can find at Walmart, Target, or even your local grocery store. We're getting Lori ready for a Zoom call, and then later we're going to bump it up for night. While Lori's in the chair, our friend Gia has some great beauty questions. I'm starting us off with NuFace Microcurrent because Gia wanted to see this one in action. This is definitely not a drugstore buy. So the microcurrent we're doing because you're on camera. And this is NuFace. We're just gonna do a mini lift, 5 minutes. So this you could do 5 minutes a day and say, the heck with the makeup. My face is lifted, I'm out of here. I look great.
I don't know about that.
Does that hurt?
How does it feel, Lori?
No. Feels good. It feels nice and cool on your skin.
Okay, this is
I
the
feel a little
highest
the
setting.
current now. Yeah.
This is the highest setting that it goes.
You can feel a little twitching in your muscle when you know, and you know it's working. It's just hitting the muscle.
Look at your lip is like
You can feel it.
moving,
Saying, come on, tighten up, guys.
but not painful.
Not painful.
Good.
Do you have to use that gel with it?
You do. It has to be conducted by a gel.
It's like
a
an
clear.
ultrasound, sort of, right?
It really is. Yeah, it's just an ultrasound gel. But you do need it. Otherwise, the current, it won't be conducted.
Wow, I can really feel that.
But it doesn't hurt.
No. It actually makes you feel rewarded, like, oh, something's happening.
How long has that thing been out?
Techniques.
At least 10 years.
Really?
And they keep coming out with new things.
Mm-hmm.
It's like every week there's new products.
Like do-it-yourself stuff that you can actually do at home.
What a great time we live in. Mostly it's fun.
I want to give you this so you can see if you got a lift. What do you think?
I always notice that this is sort of starting to droop a little, this area.
It's tight like your cheekbone.
I do feel like it looks like this side is smiling more.
This-
like lip is like curving
Lifted
up. Yeah,
Holy
weird.
cow.
Yeah.
And the other side looks like, oh, well, maybe she sleeps on that side. You know that feeling when you
Yeah,
look at
little
somebody and you're
droopy.
like,
Little droopier. Well, what's interesting is I can still feel the muscles contracting even though you're not doing it. It's still sort
So
of
it's been
working.
activated.
Yeah, it's activated.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
is that a trip?
Yes.
Okay, let's do the other side.
Yeah, please.
So this you wouldn't maybe do every day, but for an event, if you had something big to go to, it could be a fun way that's non-invasive. You don't want to get injections, you don't want to do Botox, but you want to get a little refresh. And the effects, if you keep at it, are cumulative, so it's almost like a workout for the face.
Wow, I can really feel it up there. It's interesting.
This one I originally started using because if you have an actor in your makeup chair at 4 a.m. and you want it to look like noon,
Yeah.
you can use this. And they just look a little bit less puffy. Maybe they had a salty dinner the night before, they had a drink.
Yeah.
This just helps it look less puffy. All right.
I can feel it.
Yeah.
It feels like my muscles worked
Like you've
out.
done something.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Like I just did a workout.
Okay, so that was kind of our bonus, right? You might not do that every day. It's definitely not a drugstore find. But that's our good way to start. I got you this to start. This is the e.l.f. Primer Putty. It's about $8, $9 at Walmart.
What does the primer do?
The primer, I feel like it fills in. Lori doesn't really have big pores, but it fills in pores.
I always think I do.
You do?
Yeah.
You feel like you have big pores?
Yeah.
No, it fills in pores, it fills in wrinkles. This is the e.l.f. super affordable Complexion Duo. So this one we can use for the concealer and this one we can use for foundation. Here we go. You can see such a big difference, Lori, just from the primer.
Really?
It's a trip because it doesn't really have any coverage, but the side with the primer is just, you see the difference?
There's no shine and it looks like it's been airbrushed.
It does.
Lightly.
It is an airbrushed finish.
I'll go for it.
Very pretty.
You were one of the first makeup artists that I worked with that did airbrush even. I remember how fast you were.
I love my airbrush. I feel like it was a big help during COVID because the makeup I mean, it just
Yeah, you
sprays
don't
out
have
of the
to touch
gun. You don't touch anything.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I will say, once you have this on, you don't want to brush, you know, and do a lot of aggressive moving. Like, it's on, let it be there. Do you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So when you're putting stuff on top of
You're
it,
just dabbing it?
yeah, you're
Okay.
patting it on top. Because I want to do a cream blush on you,
Mm-hmm.
and I want to use the same product on your lip, just something easy. So primer, and then let's find your foundation shade.
Do you find that using creams are easier?
Yes.
Cream eyeshadow, cream blush.
So much easier.
Yeah, I do too.
So much easier to blend. Okay, this was a fun find. This one is Neutrogena, and it's a color corrector, which I'm like, are you kidding me? I didn't know they made this. They have a color corrector that's almost the same color as the really expensive $40 color corrector from Armani. So let's look at the color. It's a little bit orangey, peachy, so that's a great color corrector. And I'm going in with the other side of the e.l.f. brush. And I'm going to do, the main place that I put concealer is right here. Believe it or not, it's not under the eye, it's to break up the start of the under eye. So it's really right there is more important to me than even the under eye. And you can kind of blend it with your fingers, but you can see already, once you cover up that thin skin, it breaks up the appearance of an under eye circle. So just right there. And right in this area. And you see how once it's on, it doesn't have that orangey cast. It just covers up the natural blue under eye that we all have. You know, even when you see a child actor, it's like, it's just blue under there. I'm probably not going to do a lot of coverage out here. I'm just going to let that skin be skin. That's a really mobile part of the face. So I'm not going to go too crazy out there. But the place I am going to put a lot of coverage is right there. So inner corners are very important. And I think you can do a tiny drop here, but not too much. So this is much less coverage. And make sure you blend, blend, blend. So just a drop. And let's see one side compared to the other. Yeah, it's a huge difference, right? And the difference was made, not really the under eye, but right here.
Yeah.
So that's a good place to target. And I do like this Neutrogena concealer.
It's kind of a brightener. I
Mm-hmm.
mean, that looks good.
You feel that color correcting, huh? Gee, I almost want you to sit there, like, come pull up a chair.
Am I saying too much stuff?
No, I love it.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
it's great.
It's helping because
Okay.
you're giving us insight into what the viewers at home are going to see
Mm-hmm.
and the questions that they're going to have.
Right.
You know, you're almost like a comment fortune teller. You know, you're a psychic, letting me know what the comments will be. Yeah, just a tiny drop, maybe a tiny drop there, but not too much. The other place I'm going to avoid, Lori, you don't really have it, but a lot of people have this big protruding bag right here. That's more of a rounded,
Right.
you know, dome shape. You don't have that. But if you do have that and you have a puffy under eye, I would avoid that area. Don't put the concealer there because it's going to bring it towards us. It's going to make it look more domed and more protruding. But so I didn't even put anything here. I don't think I really touched here. It's more on the outside, and really the target for your concealer is right here. Where else do we need? You might put a tiny drop around the nose. You really don't have a lot of broken capillaries. Most people have huge broken capillaries there.
If you do have that protruding puffy eye, is there something that you would do, or do you ignore it altogether?
I would do your foundation.
Uh-huh.
And even a little bit of, like you said, the bronzer. Or if you have a foundation that you're like, oh, this was my summertime foundation, it's too dark for me now, you could almost darken it and make that bag look less domed.
So it's away from us instead of going towards us. Yeah.
I'm going to take this concealer as well and use it almost like a contour. So I'm going to go on the bridge of the nose, and then I'm going to darken the sides of the nose just to make it show how symmetrical you are. So I'm just kind of showing off your symmetry. So I know it looks strange when you first put it on, like, oh, is that a line? But you're going to feather the edge, and you're also going to blend it in with your foundation. I'm going a little bit more in depth. I know we said we're going to do natural makeup to get you out of here, but I'm just giving you an idea of what you can do with this concealer.
Do you ever use it on eyelids?
Yes, definitely. You could use it as an eyelid base. So let's do a little feather with that. So I'm going to take the foundation brush and close them. So even just a drop on the lid. Gorgeous. And let's go in the spirit of you getting out of the drawer super quick. I would say concealer and then go in with the SPF that gives you a little bit of color. It's actually SPF 20 and I'm using it as your bronzer. It blocks out blue light, it blocks out UVA, UVB rays, and it looks like it's a little bit darker than your skin tone, so it'll give you some color. It almost looks like, show me the back of your hands next to your face. See that tan?
Yeah.
This almost looks like it's gonna give you the tan that's on your body, but it'll be on your face. Yeah. Okay, so this is that Neutrogena with the SPF and the blue light blocker, so when you go on your Zoom call, if you do. I'm using the same brush. I think it's fine. You can tap it off in the inside corner, in the inside compact.
Is that a cream too?
No, doesn't it look creamy? It's
Yeah,
not. It's a
creamy.
powder.
Oh.
I know, this one won a lot of beauty awards too. That's why I was like, oh, we have to get this. Okay, so I would start, you know what? I would start here. Go underneath, because usually it's like you're super pale here, you're even paler here because the sun never hits, and then you're dark here. So let's start along the jawline, kind of under the jawline. It also helps me see how much product I have on the brush. It's kind of a cheat to like, well, if I have too much and it's gonna make a streak, I don't mind if it streaks under here. But this one is super diffused and not streaky at all. And it doesn't look powdery to me. It looks velvety. So let's give some color.
It feels like it's going on nice and smooth.
It does. All right, I think we found a winner. Oh, good, yeah, keep that smile. So I'm gonna go just a little underneath the cheekbone, and then, you know, on top of the cheekbone, I'm going with some less coverage. Wow. Now this one I love. I always love to have a compact powder or a loose powder you could do. I remember Bare Minerals used to be so popular. But if you can get some SPF on the delicate lids, that's a win. Because I know you're not going to take an SPF, you know,
Right.
cream and put it on your lid. It's going to get in your eyes. It's going to sting. But if you can do that with a powder, you're in a good place. Just a little bit of that. And like I promised, we're going to do the sides of the nose instead of doing the bridge of the nose. The bridge, I don't mind if it's highlighted for symmetry, but do the sides of the nose. And maybe a little bit at the end.
Yeah, I think doing the sides of the nose is always important for me. Like when you get to this age, you feel like your nose always looks a little bit bigger than you've ever remembered. And so I'm always wanting to contour, make it look just a little bit smaller, or thinner, I should say.
You can. You have great symmetry. So it's just showing it off. Okay, so that's one side.
It's
with a
also
little
this
contour.
little area right here that I always want to sort of hide, or
You wanted to make it look like it's not.
as sunken, maybe I want to say.
So you want to make
Less
it.
shadow in there.
Okay, so if you wanted to do that, you take a little bit of the concealer again. I'm just kind of going back into this little guy and bring that shadow forward. So I just dropped the tiniest drop on the inside.
Oh man, it's gone.
Mm-hmm. How funny. That concealer is really great.
So it's challenging at Walmart or the drugstore, not on price, but because you really can't try stuff on. So what are your suggestions about how you would find for your own skin tone, if a certain product has 5 different shades, how do you know you're not making a giant mistake when you're picking your color?
Yeah, you are so good. Because honestly, okay, I'm a pro makeup artist and I struggle. Going through in that fluorescent lighting, I see 300 shades of stuff.
It's overwhelming.
It's so overwhelming. So this is really, I hope, good advice. What I do is I go through the aisles and I look for what's sold out. Because I feel like that color is helping the person that's in that skin tone range. Like the concealer in the medium shades of the Neutrogena concealer that was recommended by Glamour Beauty 2021 Best of Drugstore Awards, that concealer was almost sold out. There was only one left. And I was like, okay,
That's smart.
there's got to be
That is very smart.
there's got to be something to it. That's the other thing. If you can watch the videos and kind of have a plan for like, okay, my foundation is a little bit too dark. Well, I can use it to shade the sides of my nose. I can use it as a contour. And some of them have really good policies, like Walmart was great. Hey, I think I got the wrong shade. They let me bring it back.
Yeah.
I think Walgreens has the same policy too.
Which at this age, you know, its brows are, they're going, or they're turning gray a little, and so you want to just fill them in, and it makes a huge difference. So it's really nice.
This is a neutral brown, you guys. Let's see if that will work. I can do that. So the shape I want to create is a straight line. So see this curve right there? I want to get rid of that curve. So I'm filling in there, and also I want the brow to start at the inner corner of her eye. So we're missing some hairs. Let's do, if we had this as a measure, turn just a tiny drop that way. So if we had this as a measure of where your brow should start, it's a little bit shy right there. So that's where I'm going to fill in. And then the lower curve of your lashes out here, your brow can end all the way here. So you could, you know, extend the brow at the end, up to you, personal preference. Here we go. So this is my main concern, is right here. I'm making more of a straight line, if that makes sense. I do love this pencil, and I think you could just do this. It's almost like a taupe dark.
It's a good color.
It is a good color.
It's not too dark though.
Right.
Which is always an issue. Like if you get it a little too dark,
You want to look, yeah.
it doesn't look as natural.
You look angry. It might be good for negotiating if you go too dark. Look, I have to buy a house. I'm going to put a dark brown. Hopefully they cave. So I'm just bringing this brow a little bit further in. But I see what you're saying, because you do kind of want the brow hairs too. You want the feeling of hair. And this is giving me that nice undertoned shadow of brow, but it's not giving me the hairs. So I see where your darker pencil would come in.
So because now you've got a background.
Right.
But you need the hair strokes. Hello. So I'm going in now with the black e.l.f. pencil. Although you could put hairspray on this brush and then brush them exactly where you want. And then, you know, like if you go to a wedding and you're hugging a bunch of people.
Yeah, I've done that.
Yeah. Some people.
Not hairspray. I mean, I've used gel, sort of like hair gel, just a tiny bit to let it, to set it.
It could still be darker in the front, huh?
Yeah, more.
And we have doubled your brow. I mean, your brow gained some weight, Lori, but it looks natural. I don't know. You'll have to look and give us your approval. But you can tell if you used to be Frida Kahlo, like, you're back, baby. Because that's a lot more brow than you had.
It looks very good.
Doesn't it look right? It kind of
Yes.
matches her, but
Yes.
we did really go for it. Let me see. I want to get you that mirror so you can check it. Yeah, I got it. Is it too much?
Oh, no, I like it. I like the shape, too. It's great.
Groovy. Okay, good.
It's really nice.
That looks like it's all your brow.
That's way better. Yeah, it's beautiful.
Lori, I love it. You really did have that brow, because there's no way it would look this natural.
How
Your
about
face
longer
shape.
on the end?
Yes. Now, I have to say, the second brow is always the more challenging, because I need to not only make this one look really great, but it's got to match the other one.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? We're going to make them sisters, not twins. But this is the neutral brown from e.l.f., which, bravo to e.l.f. for making this color. It's like a dark taupe.
So you're just lightly brushing it onto the skin.
It's very peaceful. And now I'm just going to map out where that inner corner start point is on this eye. It's so funny that we all lose the hairs in the same place. 'Cause everybody seems to lose that.
Well, in some of it, the gray starts happening, and a lot of times it's right there near the inner eye, you know, like near your nose, which gives the illusion that there's no hair there when there really is hair there. We just have to color it.
That's true, right? This one, if we just tap in a few hair, the appearance of hair. Now this makes me glad we put the primer on too, because once we get these hairs drawn in, you want it to stay. We can also powder over it too. And now once you have this shape kind of memorized, it's 2 seconds. Or to me, the best place to put on your brow is in the rear view mirror in the car. Because you really can see every hair.
Mm-hmm.
That's my jam. I park and I say, oh, I got to do my brows.
It's amazing. That's amazing.
Well, it brings more attention to your eye.
That's what I'm saying. I'm seeing your eyes more.
Yeah.
Okay, so now we have 3 products. Well, 4. We did the primer, we did the SPF powder that gives you some color, and then we did 2 different brow pencils. That's where the $3 e.l.f. eyelash curler. We're going to take this one for a test drive.
Difference between brands, or is it?
I would say, well, the Shuyamura and the Shiseido are really good if your eye is not as curved and you're like, I'm always pinching the ends of my eye. Those are great. MAC has a really deep curve. So yeah, the curve, this little part, the curve of this can change on different brands. I always have this. This is Revlon. You can get these for $10 on Amazon. There's a half lash curler. So if you feel like I don't have a lot of lashes or I always pinch myself, this one is a must-have.
The one thing that's important for those, because I've been using them for so long, is to keep them clean. You need to use some alcohol and just,
keep all the goop off of it.
keep the goop off of it so it's not catching your eyelashes and taking them with you.
And how do you know when it's time to change the pad?
When the silver part, you'll see the silver parts will touch because the pad's not doing its job. So the 2 silver pieces are kind of touching. You can hear the noise will change because that pad is so compressed. Like right now, if I try to do it, I can't because the pad's so new. But it starts to give way. That black piece starts to give way, and the 2 silver pieces touch.
It's like a brake pad.
It is like a brake pad. Okay, this was cool at Walmart for $1. If you go into the pharmacy near the if you go into the pharmacy near the diabetic supplies, they have these alcohol prep pads. So it's just a little pad with alcohol on it, and this would be perfect to wipe your brushes, to wipe your scissors, to wipe your eyelash curlers. Just super easy, press down, and you clean everything off. Here's the mascara that we went with. This is L'Oreal Air, and this was actually one of the actresses on Walking Dead was like, oh, it's so good. So this one gives a lot of volume. It's not heavy on the lash. So if your lashes are kind of sparse, look down.
It's a gigantic brush.
I know, it's not going to weigh them down.
Wow.
It does give a really nice volume. So I usually just by instinct, when there's a lot of mascara on the brush, I usually start out here. So I start wiggling around out here. And then as the product gets less, because it's been supplied to those outer lashes, I go to the inside. So I kind of want a little bit more mascara on the outside than the inside, if that makes sense.
It's a great trick. Yes.
Did we get a good? Yes, Lori.
Holy cow.
Okay, so the other side, we've got a ton of product on the wand. I'm going to the outside corner first. And then we're going in.
So what's your guidance on black versus brown?
And so if you have a light hair color, you might want to try the brown. But to me, the black looks the most natural because if you do a black brown, the brown might have a tiny bit of red, like a mahogany color, and it could bring out the redness in your eyes in a way that you don't want. Right? Laura, you look almost ready to go out. A little lip and cheek. Be turning heads at the grocery. I feel like it's such a small town here. You see people you know, so you might as well look good.
So what about putting mascara on the tops of your eyelashes? Like, brushing it down, over the lash, or you just go from the
Instead of going underneath?
Well, no, you do both. So, I've done it because my lashes are so sparse that I do it kind of coming and going.
That's such a good idea. Yeah, I think that's good because then you can double the volume.
Yeah.
And maybe this mascara would be good for that because it's supposedly like light as air. Maybe this is the kind of product that
But my gosh,
would get along with that.
you have amazing lashes.
Because I guess the concern would be if you go from the top 2 is like, it's not going to weigh them down, is it? That's the only thing I would worry about.
I just get the tips. I
Yep.
don't do the whole thing. I just do the tips of it on the top part. I don't know.
Yeah, I think that's a good idea.
Any little help I can get with my lashes.
Oh, we all do.
Not Lori.
I know,
She's
Lori's
got
rocking
lashes
them.
for days.
She really does.
for me and my age, because I can't see like I used to, this gets the eyelashes highlighted with, you know,
Then you can see them.
so now I can see them. And I mean, laugh, but it's so
No, I
much
get it. I'm laughing
easier.
'cause I understand.
And here's the thing too, that it conditions your eyelashes as well. So it's really helping you know, them grow.
The girls in there.
So once I get them all white, then I can go to my other side and.
This one you actually could get at the grocery. This is Burt's Bees. This is their Squeezy Tinted Balm. So I'm going to use this on cheeks and lips. Let's just take a
So in real time, how long would that take Lori to do?
The average American woman is an 8-minute makeup. I think she could do this in 8 minutes. What do you think, Lori?
I probably could just maybe practice a little bit for a couple days doing that, and I could definitely do it. But yeah,
10 minutes.
I think 10 minutes for.
I think you can do it. So now, should we? Do you
I
want
could
to
do it watching your
wardrobe?
video.
I'll be like, why do I have so many views? Oh, Lori's watching it again. Here we go. So, Lori, you just changed, and we're like, you already look ready. We were gonna put more makeup on you, but this is just the primer and the
Right.
brow and the little like Burt's Bees lip tint.
But I think I would do a little bit more intense, just knowing that I'm going to go on a Zoom meeting in case you're on that Zoom, you know, because you just want to add a little bit more.
And it does feel like the Zoom, when you see yourself, it's like, oh, it kind of ate the makeup.
Right.
It doesn't look like I put on
Exactly.
as much as I did.
Because now you're on camera, so you want to add just a little bit more. Also, you know, it gives you a little more confidence going in, so that's what you need when you're going.
Okay, let's do it.
Okay.
Okay, so this is the 5-minute up level for your Zoom call. We're gonna do Colorstay today, so I have 2 shades. So the 340 gives you a little bit of brightness, actually. So this is the lighter shade of the 2. And then look up to the ceiling. I would do just a drop here.
Are you putting that on the same way you would put on the primer?
Pretty much.
Seems like it.
Pretty much, and then look up. So this is just a little bit more coverage. I'm not going to go in with more concealer, but I'll just go in with the Colorstay here.
Now, are you staying with the one color, or and then going to trade off, or?
I think I'm going to do both.
Mm-hmm.
This is the lighter color.
Which is number-wise, the higher the number,
The lighter the color.
the lighter the color.
That did kind of trip me out because I'm like, wait a second, how's a 340 lighter than the 315?
I think that's true in hair dyes as well.
You're
that-
right. You're right, it is.
That there's one little sun spot that I have on my forehead. I'd love to
We'll cover that one.
hit that one.
Okay, I see that tiny sunspot you're talking about. I see that little cutie. So let's see. Exactly. So I'm trying to leave the coverage strong where I need it, and then I'm just taking the brush and blurring the edge, if that makes sense. And then maybe we'll go over it a little. Something like that. We did the lighter, now I'm going in with the darker. And that one I'll go here. Ooh, I have to say it's much darker, but I kind of love it. Definitely do the neck. You know, get a little bit of the chest too. This has a nice SPF finish too, so you could use it as your sunblock as well.
It's true. Sometimes we forget about the neck, and when you're on your Zoom call, then you see it.
Exactly. And this little brush, this e.l.f. brush, it wasn't expensive, and this one it's working for us.
So Jessica, how often would you clean your foundation brush?
Oh, that's such a good question. I mean, I don't know, maybe every 2 or 3 days, because you don't want it to get kicked in there. We use the blurring primer too. You kind of want to wash that out.
And you just use like a shampoo or something, or a light soap?
I use Ivory Pure, which you can find at Target. I know my clients aren't gonna react to that. So let's see, turn a little bit and then look down. So I'm going in with the darker shade, but yeah, Ivory Pure, or a lot of people use baby shampoo,
Uh-huh.
and they just dry their brushes.
And you just swish it around in the soapy and then rinse it out.
Make sure the water runs clear. Rinse it out. Press it with a towel. Don't pull. You know, you don't want to pull the fibers, the hairs.
I've used alcohol. Do you not like to use alcohol on your brushes?
We do. We have to use alcohol at work. You know, in the makeup trail we have to. But in your personal life, I probably wouldn't, because your brushes are going to dry out a lot quicker.
I have to say though, I have used alcohol a lot more personally during the pandemic, just because
You just have it around now.
I have it around. And
Yeah. But think of your hair. If you used alcohol on your hair,
Yeah.
it's going to break the bristles. You're not going to get as much life out of it. But if it's just you
let's
using
not
your
talk about
brushes,
my hair.
your hair's great. Okay, so that's the lighter and darker Colorstay. It's a lot more coverage, but I like it. And then look up. It's very pretty, Lori.
Still looks glowy.
It does. You still have some good color.
So we used a toner and then we put on the primer.
Yes.
And so now we're putting on it's the e.l.f. primer that we used. And then now we're putting on some Colorstay with the two colors, 340 and 330.
Yes.
What point would you or would you not worry about putting on a moisturizer at all on your face? Because I always feel like I've got to put some kind of moisturizer on, but now we've kind of skipped all of that. So,
But wait, feel this. This is the primer. So I just want you to feel this texture. So here, put your fingers up and just kind of feel between that and kind of hold it up so they can see.
oh yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, it is very moisturizing.
It's very moisturizing.
Yeah.
So I don't think you would need a moisturizer and that. I think you could just do that. Because right now, honestly, I feel like, is your makeup going to slide off? Let's see, look up to the ceiling and tilt down just a little bit. Already, I feel like this could start to be so hydrated that it's going to crease. So you can tilt your chin down. I'm going to go in with this powder to set. This is a L'Oreal Infallible. Another award winner that won a lot of drugstore beauty awards was this powder. So I'm going to go in with this one and just sort of set the makeup. So I'm starting underneath.
You're not pulling, you're just dabbing.
That's right, because I have the primer on, you know. I don't want to be pulling. And then you can tilt your chin down. It's a great color. It's going to give you a little color, which I don't mind. But this should keep everything on. Look up to the ceiling. I'm just making sure that we set the concealer. There we go. Yeah, I feel like that made a huge difference. Let's see, look up to the ceiling. You can really see the difference on this eye compared to this eye with the powder. So again, I feel like this one is giving you another little dose of blurring.
Okay.
And it just set anything that looked like it was gonna move around and try to run off on us. Yeah, and then close them. I'm gonna set the top of the lid too. And along the T-zone. I don't know if I would do powder on the cheeks. I wanna go back in with that Burt's Bees that we liked and just do a tiny drop of that and then smile. So I'm just touching up the blush. So yeah, powder right here, I probably would not do.
Because you're getting into the eye.
Yeah, it's too mobile. That's such a moving area of the eye. I want that hydrated. I want that dewy.
So I've heard that if you put foundation on your eyelids, that it helps your eyeshadows stay better. Is that true?
Yes, I think that. I guess it kind of depends. You know, you don't want to put something too, like those new oil-based foundations, you wouldn't want to put that on the lid. That's not going to help anything. But it will help the shadow stay on longer. And speaking of shadow, this would be your quick up level for your Zoom call or your lunch with your girlfriend. Revlon Colorstay also does a nice cream eyeshadow.
What color is that?
This is chocolate. Okay. So the brushes I'm using are by Tools. I mean, I've even seen these at the grocery. I'm going to take all three of these brushes and I'm going to use them. The more, the bigger the bristle and the more bristles, the more diffuse the application. So this little guy you can almost use as a diffused liner brush. It's so tiny, it's gonna go on, whatever you do is gonna go on dark. Whereas these two, it's gonna go on really smoky. So we'll pick our weapon. Ooh, cool, thank you. So here's the Revlon chocolate, Colorstay. I'm gonna start with the smallest brush, which is gonna give me the most bang for my buck. And then I'm gonna have you look up to the ceiling. So the most important part for me is this lower corner of the eye. I'm defining it, but still a little bit smoky. We're gonna do another level where she has a night look where we can go in with a more precise eyeliner. But for now, that's where I would start. Let's see, look forward. Yeah, that makes a huge difference lifting the eye. And then look down.
Wow, that corner thing makes a giant difference.
Doesn't it? So yeah, I'm concentrating it even out here too. I'm putting a little bit near the lash line. So you can see I'm going right in at the lash line. And then in the corner, I'm kind of sweeping it out here in the corner too. So let's see that.
Wow.
Right? And I hope it doesn't scream that you have makeup on, like tons of makeup. You know what I mean?
It's just enhancing your beautiful bone structure
Mm-hmm.
in a very soft, subtle way.
And then look up to the ceiling. So it's this outer corner. I'm actually going beyond where your lower lash line is. I'm kind of, you can feel where I'm going, right? A little bit further up, and then look down and turn a little this way so they can see. You just see the line. It almost creates a line where it's lifting your eye up and back. And then I'm defining close to the top lash line, and I'm just moving the brush around in that inner corner, and you still have a second before it sets. You can kind of literally mush it around with your fingers, you know, you don't have to be too precious with it. You have time to blend it. But that's what I would do for Zoom. Then the lips. Okay, these are Revlon lipsticks, which won all the beauty awards. So I'm like, let's take them for a test drive and see. This color is Rose Wine, number 225. 225 Rose Wine. And then I'm using an NYX lip pencil in Nude Beige. So this is NYX in Nude Beige. And let's see, so for the lips, here we go. I'm gonna cheat and do a little bit higher than your top lip is. Oh, good.
I like
yes,
it.
I'm so glad you're down. So I'll do one side so that they can really see. I wanna anchor this edge in reality, so I'm kind of finding, like, where do I start? So that is your natural lip line. From there, I'm kind of going for it. So this is a lot higher, but the curve is there. It's just the color doesn't extend up there. So it's there. Let's see, can you see that on camera? Yeah, you can. You can tell a little bit that it's higher. Let's do the other side. So I'll have you turn. Yeah, perfect. So again, we're anchoring the edge in reality, which is, there's your lip line. This one seems to be a little naturally higher, so I don't have to cheat as much. But just...
What's the guideline about the color of the liner versus the color of the lipstick? You don't have to have the same color?
You know what? You could get this NYX Nude Beige and you could use it with any color because it's so close. I mean, it's more nude than her lip is, but it's pretty close, so she could use this with anything. And then we're going to go on top with the lipstick. Okay, now usually on set I would use a lip brush. I don't know if you guys can see that. Makeup Forever makes the best lip brushes, but I think if it's your personal lipstick and you can just press it to the lip, I think that's pretty cool. You're going to get a nice targeted line with this lipstick. So here we go. Let's see how far we can push it. Because your lip does have that curve. It's just extending the color up there. So I'm using this kind of pointed end of the lipstick to be my guide. And then I'm filling it in. This does look...
It's a nice color.
It is a nice color. And it does look like this could be your lip.
Just got to get rid of the wrinkle in my lip.
Your lips are great. So you guys see I'm kind of using my hand too to make sure like I don't go too far. So it's a bit of a catch, you know. Wow. I do like it. And we did cheat big time, but it's not giving it away. It doesn't look like we cheated. Lori, you're so good and you're so still. Amazing. Okay,
that
turn
looks
a little bit.
awesome. You just had a whole lip plumping experience without.
I'm ready for my close-up.
I want you to see it. Now, I think I could put a little more powder right here.
Isn't that great?
Yeah.
So that there's nothing, I kind of want this to be more matte down so that the lips are really like the star.
I'd love
Would
to
you put
wear
gloss on? Does gloss work on Zoom stuff? Or
I want to, but do you think it's too much, Lori? I mean, what would you do? Because I have a gloss for you that I would love to do.
I think I wouldn't do it for a Zoom meeting.
Yeah.
I think it might be a little distracting, but I definitely would use.
Let's save it for
going out. Because then at night, you know, the light catches it, and it's like, it's just gives you a little more. I wish I had the confidence to wear lips like this all the time. I've never been a lipstick person.
What?
You have beautiful lips, and it pops your whole face.
But
it really
it's
completes your
fun.
whole look.
It's
Yeah.
really fun.
You look great,
You do.
Lori. Like,
You
I'm
do.
shocked you don't always wear lipstick because it looks so,
Yeah.
it looks just like, every day.
Yeah, it looks
Why
like
wouldn't
you. That color, the shape.
It's me. It's me.
Yeah. Very, very flattering.
It looks great, Lori. Okay, let's take an after picture.
And not too done up, not too.
Yeah.
Just
Tutu.
complete.
Yeah,
You know.
complete. That's such a good way to say it. Now it's time for night makeup, and we're going to start by tightlining under the lashes. Should, and then look down. Maybe we'll add just a few lashes and then add the mascara on top. Okay, let's see. Oh, I love it. Okay, so now we've got the liner on, and we're really putting it to the test because it's right on your eyeline.
So did you go above the eyelash and then again underneath the eyelash?
Where's that mirror? You can see where I went. I went above, but I think what makes the most difference is the below. It just gives it some intensity.
Wow, it's cool.
Right?
Yeah.
I mean, it really looks great on you. Okay, so now I'm going in with a brown. This is just to soften that line at the top. I've got that tiny brush we were using before, and then close them a little. So I'm just taking the brown eyeliner on top of the black, so it doesn't end in kind of a harsh line. You know what? We could have done this too with that brown eyeshadow that we did.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see. Yeah, it's a little smokier now. I like.
You mean the ends? You could do that.
Yeah.
With it. Yeah.
It just softens that edge and gives you
Yeah.
a smoky finish. And then close them. And then open, gorge, and then close. Oh, Laura, you are going to turn heads. So cute. Okay, that's good. Now, let's add a few lashes. Okay. These are easy to find. If you don't feel like doing lashes, you could just do another coat of mascara if you were like, you know what? I'm just dipping a little bit in the glue. Let's see if that can be. And then look down. Gorge. I'm centering most of it in the outer and center for the lashes. And that glue is going to dry clear. You know, it's so weird when it starts out with that white. Look down. So now we're going in with another coat of mascara. Oh yeah. So I'm just kind of getting the ends of the new lashes that we added. This is our Revlon chocolate. There it is. And then the diffused brush. But if you're not afraid of it, yeah, I'd say you could just add it out here to contour the eye and connect it in this outer corner, almost making like a V. Yeah, that's good. You can leave them open. It's pretty. Let's see. I swear it's like the more we put on, the better it looks.
Yeah,
Most people would buckle under the weight of this much, but you really come alive with it. So I guess that's the message, is to not be afraid.
Do not be afraid.
Don't be afraid, just go for it. This is NYX. This gets all the beauty awards. It's super comfortable to wear. It's Oprah's favorite things. Like, this is just the gloss to get if you're at the drugstore. Okay. And again, we're kind of in that. This color's got some, it's got some life to it.
Oh my goodness.
I feel like you could wear this every day and people would be like, of course, that's just what she does.
I would love to look like this every day. Are you kidding?
You could. It's you.
It's you. I want you to tell me, so now at the end of the day, when I go to take this off,
yes,
tell me the best way to remove it. So when you've got this many layers now, just for
you could do a wipe
at home.
like this one. There's a reason why it was sold out. Like I went to Walmart and look at what was sold out. And it's like that Neutrogena makeup wipe, the whole shelf was empty. So you could just do a wipe and get everything off. You could do a foaming cleanser and literally just like go like that and the lashes will just go down the drain. They'll just be gone. Or you could wipe around. I mean, this is probably not the best thing for your eyes, but some of my clients just wipe all around here, sleep on their back, and they leave the lashes on for a few days.
Yeah.
They're crazy like that.
I'm crazy like that.
Because they're so pretty, you just want to keep them on.
I know.
But yeah, it'll come off with a regular cleanser, cream cleanser. If you were traveling, I would say anything oil-based. You know, if you were at an Airbnb, if you had coconut oil, olive oil, you could just take it off with an oil-based cleanser too. Laura, you're good to go. We got to take some pictures for Gia so she can see it.
Okay.
This was a fun makeup. Let me know if you tried any of these products. Don't be shy. Leave me a comment. I read every one of your comments, and I'd love to know what you think. And also hit the subscribe button so you can get my next videos. See you soon.